anyone it's their first time being with me on this, at the Academy? No? Okay. Okay, hi. Marion, Norman. What, are you from the US? Yes and no from Europe. Europe, okay. So what we do is, let's just do a couple of simple meditations so we come back to the heart center, because, and then I'm going to be talking about how to operate from this place. And the only way that we can always operate from this place, from our heart, is that we have to find our setting in this place, which is a transformation from the head to the heart. And that sometimes requires practice. Let's see, someone has sent some chat. Okay. Very good. Because we've been conditioned throughout our upbringing, and through this conditioning, we lost our space of being here, and we migrated to the head. Because when you were children, basically you were operating from your being place, a space of being, which is your heart. There was no agendas, and there was no stories about what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or in my future, or about my investments, or what happened last month or 6 months ago. Children basically are in here and now, and they operate from this moment. And we get conditioned to and forced to move from our hearts to our heads. And the purpose of this particular meditation is for us to come back into our heart space, where the love and the being reside. And it's not in this chatterbox here that is in duality all the time. So when we come to our heart and we become present with ourselves, then the suffering that happens in the mind stops. There may be physical pain or illnesses or challenges that we may be going through, but the suffering is not there. And I assure you, most human beings on this planet, they suffer, and because they're in a bondage, they are slaves of their own mind, and they're not free. And that's the ultimate goal for the spiritual seeker and the warrior, is to liberate. Liberation is the final goal. And liberation means coming to the peace within, to inner peace, coming to ultimate happiness, coming to this place that you are not touched by your extreme up and down of emotions, or your thoughts that can drive you crazy. You free yourself from that cycle, and you become liberated. And as well as not really identifying to the physical body as who we think we are. So the purpose of these meditations is to give you a glimpse and the tools, as well as the pathway, the way to go to your heart and to stay there and operate from this place. And one of the best ways to do this is through active meditations. Active meditations and self-love affirmations, they lead us back into our heart space. And they work very fast. So this is what we're going to be doing. So what we do is we simply close our eyes and we bring our attention on one place. Some of you, it may be easy to put your attention on your third eye. And for some, maybe wherever that works for you. So I encourage you to do what works for you. So, but when I speak verbally, I may be referring to third eye pointedness. You bring your attention to what place, either here or here, and you just keep your attention on this point. Your attention is here. It's not a mental process. It's not positive visualization. It's not trying not to think or think. Simply, you have your attention on one point, and that's it. And what we're going to do is we will speak a language that we haven't spoken before. It's blah, blah, blah. It's gibberish. And this language, speaking this language from a place called no mind, where there is no thoughts or thinking of what do I say next, is we simply speak from this space. And we flush the mind, we empty the mind through doing that. So we start together, and I encourage you to do it because it's a very, very powerful meditation. So we start. Abagazana na wagajaza wagajada waria na warigachata sara wakata chachana warakata kachata sana warakachana na waya the kacha tabakacha sana na chata wata kachana sana wania na kachawa kata satawa chakata warakata gada jana sana wanaka abagacha sana na waria na kacha sada waria na sana warakacha sana sana wa the gajada waria warakasakata sana na waria Awakachana sana warakachana just let it out, let it out. Awakata sana nana watakata sana wara sana nana wara yana na. Take a deep breath and just keep your attention on one place. Keep your attention on heart area or your third eye. Take a deep breath and relax into what is going on, whatever that is. Just allow yourself to dive deep within yourself simply by being. We do it again. Abagaza sana na waragaja gada waragaja sana wana kata sana na wata sana wata kajia waragaji jo wakata kasa shavakata sana na wani ana gaja sana na warakata sana shoro wakata kaja wadi gara wada wani na let it out, let it out. Abagada sana wana kana sana wani ana gaja gada wagadi jada waraganda gaza sana wana abagaza sana wana take a deep breath and you keep your attention on one point. You keep your attention on your heart chakra. The next meditation is the laughing meditation, and we're going to laugh. Even though if you don't feel like laughing, make yourself laugh and the laughter will come. So we will begin. Take a deep breath. Ah. Stop the laughter. Come back to your heart and put your hands on your heart area, on your heart chakra area. And repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
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 Take a deep breath. Sink back into your heart. Come back to this place. And one more time, we're going to laugh. Take a deep breath. Think back into your being. Come back to the alignment with yourself. Come back to this place again. Realign and come back to the center of yourself. Away from your thoughts, away from the noise outside, away from the news, away from the craziness of what is going on in the world. Come back here into your where it's quiet, it's safe, and there's nothing going on. And remember your own truth. Remember your innocence. Have some gratitude for yourself. Come back to your gratitude of yourself. Come back to the love. Come back to the heart center. Don't drift away. Don't go too far away. Come back home. This is time for you to come home. Come back to this place that you used to be there when you were a child. You know this place very well. And repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I have gratitude for myself.
I have gratitude for myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I have gratitude for everybody.
I have gratitude for everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
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 Yes. And the next meditation is we're going to be standing up, and we're going to be shaking and making noises. So you have your attention on one place, either on your third eye or your heart. And we're going to be shaking and making noises. So we start. Take a deep breath. Sink in. Come back to the heart center. And repeat after me one more time. And feel your being. Feel the presence. Come back to this place. Feel yourself. And repeat after me. I love myself. I love myself. I love everybody. I forgive myself. I forgive everybody. Because I'm love. Because I'm light. Because I'm God. That's why I love myself. And I forgive myself. Whew. One more time, we're going to do this meditation. Take a deep breath, sink into your heart, sink into your center, and come back to this place. Put your hands on your heart and feel the presence of your being. Feel the majestic love and the divine presence which is here right now, surrounding you. It's dancing around you. It's in here in the room. You can feel it. It's this presence. And as you bring your hands close to your chest to put on your heart, you can feel the energy. And repeat after me. I love myself. I love myself. And really mean it when you say it, because this is an opportunity to heal yourself from your old wounds, the wounds that's been inflicted to you in your childhood. This is the moment to heal yourself and to go beyond all of that. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
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 Go back to your chairs. Go back to your seats. Go back to your center. Come back to your heart. And just hang out. Just spend time with yourself, with the holy self, the majestic part of your being. Slowly come back. So I was in Stockholm when the terrorist attack took place last Friday, and I first had a first-hand experience of seeing how everybody, so many people began to really go into the fear and panic and also hatred. This is an area I would like to talk to you about, is that it's very easy to go into these places. It's very easy to uh, fall into anger, anxiety, and hate, and create and be in this place of separation as they and us, and there's the other, and not be in this place any longer. And I feel as a spiritual warrior, um, those of us who do this practice, I understand that normal human beings who are in the world, or we call them the mainstream people, people who don't do any spiritual practice. And for them, it's very easy to go into this place of anger and hate and separation. But we who do the practice, we've done meditation, or we sat with different gurus or teachers, or we're reading spiritual books, we're doing spiritual work, is our duty to distinguish these two places of either falling into despair and anger and anxiety and hate, or which happens in our thinking minds. It happens up here, or we can, or our reaction can be that we stay in this place of of unity and oneness and love. And I'm not talking about it's okay for a group of so-called terrorists to go and blow places up and kill people. I'm not saying that's an okay thing. I don't support that. But I also can see how easily we as human beings can fall into this place and come out of our hearts and go into these places of anger and hatred and anxiety and nervousness, and be really frightened of what is going to happen to us next, and operate from this place that we get super contracted, and to a point we can't breathe and we cannot make a clear decision, and we begin to discriminate against other people. You have to understand, this is a very small group of people who are doing it, and they're not representing any large nation or religion or race. Their action is not representing the collective. It's a small group that is doing what is doing. So, and we cannot allow ourselves to lose our vision and come out of our own center and go into this lower vibratory frequencies of hatred and anger and separation and anxiety. Then we lose our visions and we're not in this holy space. And we have lost our third eye will shut down. We don't have the all-seeing eye. We're not operating from this divine place any longer. And we have gone in a complete separation. And we're no different from what they're doing. We're in the same plane as they are. And all the work we've done is thrown down the toilet. It's down the drain. Because we're just dressed differently. We look differently. Maybe we have a different behavior, but we're vibrating from the same place. We're vibrating from anger, fear, hate, and separation. We just can justify it that we're different or we're better or we're not. Not energetically. Maybe in appearance we are, but not in the truth. The truth of it is that if you're capable of staying in your heart center, if you're capable of not going into hate and anger and anxiety, you see what is going on. You're observing it, of course. You make a judgment of it, which is fine. You distinguish whether it's right or wrong, or you support it or not. But you don't react to it from the lower frequency planes, such as hate and anger and anxiety and fear. You have to remember your own center and stay in your own center. Otherwise, you fall into the top of the mind and you're back in the mix. You're back into this recycling process, which is like a washing machine. And you're into this thing. You are in a washing machine and it's spinning like crazy. And your mind is spinning like that with it. And then you're back. You're back at where you started it. And if you stay there and continue doing that, you may be reading all these beautiful spiritual books, or you may be going and sitting with some gurus and do some yoga and have the appearance of spirituality. But down deep, you haven't accomplished anything. Then if you believe in the cycle of life and death and past lives and future lives, then you're still in bondage and you have to come back. You have to come back and repeat this life because you haven't been able to rise above. And to rise above this third dimensional place, which is separation. This world that we are in and we're experiencing, it's the 3D world. And to rise above it, to elevate our consciousness to fifth dimensional vibrational frequency, is we have to pass our tests. We have to demonstrate that we have matured enough and we're capable of surpassing our hate and anger and anxiety and fear and separation. Otherwise, you cannot enter into this other place. You haven't graduated. You have to repeat the cycle again and go through it again and again and again. until your consciousness rises, until you are able to come to the Buddha consciousness, to the Christ consciousness, which it's above these low vibratory frequencies. You have transcended yourself, and you do that through meditation, through the correct guidance, through becoming pure and coming to your own purity. And to come to your purity is to reside and to find a heart place, to come to the heart. There is really no other way. To go beyond the chatter of the mind, because the anxiety, the fear that is provided by the media, by the events, which is continuously it's happening, and it doesn't look like it's going to end. It looks like it's going to continue happening. I mean, of course, I don't know what's going on in the future of the world, but it appears that the number of these sort of attacks or these kind of behavior activities is increasing, as well as the media is adding fuel to the fire. So, and focusing on these kind of areas. So it's going to create more fear and anxiety and more separation of what is going to happen to me. What's going to happen to my future? Can I go to a shopping mall? And if I go there, what's going to happen? A bomb is going to go off. And we cannot go into that place. We cannot afford going to that place in our hearts. Because if I go to this separation, this place of fear in myself, then I would not go anywhere. I will not travel. I won't go to the airport. I won't sit in any trains or subways or buses. I will hide from people because I'm worried that something happened to me. But that means I don't know God. That means I don't trust life. That means I haven't come to the place of acceptance and surrender in here, in existence, in Her Majesty, the Supreme Soul. That power that gives life and takes life. That power that governs the universe. That power that have planets to travel around each other and cycle around one another and not run into each other and have a collision. That power that turns day to night and night to day and brings seasons. It brings spring and then summer and then followed by fall and winter. Something is governing that. That intelligence, that power that is operating throughout your body, that you keep breathing in and out. And with every breath you take, there's oxygen entering into your bloodstream and going through every cell in the body, and there's an exchanges happening and toxins coming out of your body. You know, everything is working like a clock. There's an intelligence here in hand taking care of stuff. So if I'm into this fear and anxiety all the time, then that means I have no understanding of the divine being and who and what is running the show. And I think I'm in control of it. And therefore, I'm going to suffer. Suffering happens in the mind. Suffering is a conditioned mind which is attached to certain results and it's very invested in these results. And when things don't go its way, it suffers. So the path of the spiritual warrior is to rise above all of these things, regardless of what is happening in the world. Because if you're looking for peace in the world, then you're barking under the wrong tree, because there's never been peace in the world ever since of the history of the world that we have it written and we know about it. There's always been some kind of conqueror or tyrants. There's been wars and famine, disease. There's always been injustice. And this is not the first time or the last time. It's going to continue happening. So if you're looking for peace and quietness in the world, then you're wasting your time. And you're definitely wasting your time with me, because I would recommend go do something else more fun, because I have nothing to give you as far as helping you find peace in the world. The true peace is within yourself, regardless of what is happening in the world. Regardless of how many bombs may go off, or how many wars are happening, what you have to go through. The spiritual warrior who's done their work and they do meditate and they have come to inner peace and silence, they're not bothered by what is going on in the world. They're not trying to control the world. They're not trying to control their own environment or their family. They have simply mastered themselves. That means they have found the pathway coming from the head to the heart, and they're here in this place, in their own being, in this moment, totally separated from the previous moments that are gone, and completely detached from the future moments of what is to come. Completely have found this place here. And in this place is where we're home. This is where peace is. This is where God resides. Her Majesty, the Supreme Soul, the love, the infinite being, the big kahuna, the Lord of Light, is here, right here. Not in a building, you don't have to go in a building to find it. You don't have to go to Tibet. You don't have to shave your head, change your clothing. You can decorate yourself differently or not decorate yourself. But that's not where you find it. You find it here. And that happens through a quiet mind, because when the mind becomes quiet and you sink into your heart, that's where acceptance and surrender comes. You're surrendering. The mind is surrendering to the heart. And the heart knows the path. The heart knows the way. And love takes over. And you realize that actually all is well. All is very well. The nature of this existence, the nature of this dimension you're in is duality. There's going to be dark and light. There's going to be the dark forces and the light forces. There's going to be day and night. There will be the man and the woman. This planet, this race, so far to this point, has existence. Its existence has been on the union of the two opposites. So they're both needed. We're in this dimension that there is good and there is bad. There is evil and there is angel. Any attempts to trying to fix this dimension is waste of time. It's futile. We don't want to change anything in the world. This world is fine the way it is, with all of the stuff that is really screwed up in it. We know that. We don't try to change this world. You only work on yourself. You change yourself. And when you change yourself, the world that you're experiencing will adjust to you. The world that you're perceiving will adjust to you. The world that you are breathing in, you're touching, you're smelling, you're drinking will change according to where you're at. I'm not talking about positive visualization. I'm not speaking about positive thinking. Think positive. Visualize good stuff. I'm not talking about that because that's another kind of mind activation. You're activating your mind to think positive. Therefore, the negative is going to come with it. They come hand in hand. How many times you try to lose weight or to quit smoking cigarettes or whatever? I'm going to stop eating food. I'm going to lose weight. I'm not gonna. So all you're thinking about now to eat. I'm going to stop smoking. I don't want to smoke cigarettes. I'm going to give up my habit. Not all you're thinking about is cigarettes. That's not how you can accomplish it. That's not the way, my brothers and sisters. The way out is to go beyond the thinking mind and to fall into the heart place, to come to this place. And come to this place of first recognizing and loving yourself, of first recognizing that primarily all is well because the boss is in control. The king is running the show. Her Majesty, the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Love, the Supreme Spirit is running this planet and universe. It's all is in good hands. God knows what God is doing. And you don't need to interfere in God's business. If God wants to go blow up buildings or create or destroy terrorism or destroy anything or governments or whatever it is, it will do it in a second. We don't interfere in God's work because we don't understand. We don't have the vision to see. You have to be on top of the pyramid. You have to, your third eye has to be fully open and activated to see the entire spectrum of eternity, to understand why, what is happening. And we don't see that. But we can surrender and let God does what it does, and we can relax into that, and we come to our own heart. We come to the self-love. We start loving ourselves. You do the first thing first before you interfere with existence and try to change the world. Is number one thing I would like you to do is to love yourself and accept yourself for the beauty you are, for how beautiful you are, for all these abilities and capabilities that you have, all this magic that you have, and drop your self-judgment. You can't fix these things if you cannot love yourself and not accept yourself. And you can't love yourself and accept yourself because you don't know who you are. You simply have no idea who you are. You are that. You are representing and reflection of that. So you have these ideas about yourself that you're a failure, you're not good enough. If you were smarter or thinner or taller or whatever, you would have been worthy, or you're worthy, and if you can't love yourself, you have self-judgment. Of course you have self-judgment on terrorism or what is going on in the world. And of course, you're in that place. Therefore, your existence that what you're experiencing is gonna have terror and anxiety and judgment and separation and hate because you don't love yourself. You gotta come to this place first of loving yourself and accepting yourself for what you are. Not an image of you in the future, not an alternative section of you, not what you used to be, not what you want to be, none of those things. What you are in this moment. And look at your good qualities. Look at your divine qualities. Look at your own beauty. How you touch people. How you smile, and you can change other beings by your smile, touch, love, a little kiss, a little kindness. That you have these abilities to heal and transform other people, animals, or your surrounding. You'll see, recognize your own divine qualities. That's the most important part, is you recognize your own divinity first. And know that however you are, whatever shape, looks, color, talent you have or you are, is exactly how the Supreme Soul wants this unit to be represented. This is how it wants this to be represented. It cannot be anything else. I cannot be anything else, no matter what I do. Do I like to fix my nose? Do I want to be taller? Do I want to have different eye colors? Do I want to be younger, have more hair? Yeah, I do. To have this ultra image of myself of a Superman. But I love the way I am. I'm fine with it. Do I get aches and pains? And do I ever say to myself, I wish I had a 20-year younger body? Yes, there's aches and pains and complaints of the body here and there. But it's fine the way it is. I'm okay with it. So first we do that. That's first thing. Recognizing that we are expressions of the Absolute. We're expressions of God, including our enemies. They're expressions of God too. We recognize that. And we start to accept and love ourselves. And when with that, then we can forgive our past. We can forgive our own doings, wrongdoings. We've done things we're not very proud and happy of. So first we have to forgive ourselves. Not in a way that you go to the church or the priest or to the mullah that they beat you up. I'm not talking about that way of forgiving yourselves. It's just recognizing that this non-accepting of ourselves and this sense of guilt is another thought that is lingering in our head, or it's a feeling, and this thought is from the past. It's not valid any longer because you're not that person any longer. So you can let that go too. And recognize it that it's a thought coming for you. Just recognizing it, it's a passing thought. I'm not good enough. I didn't accomplish what I had to. I'm not a good mom. I could have been this, I could have been that. You can let it go by simply recognizing that that's another thought. And if I come here in my heart, I'm in the heart place. And there is no thoughts. It's simply quiet. And as you get to recognize your divinity, as you get to recognize who you are, as you get to accept yourself and love yourself, then your vibration starts to change because you're in the heart center. You're not in the hate, you're not in the anger and separation that the media wants you to go to. They want you to go there. They want you to be contracted and to be little and helpless and be in fear all the time and be a sheep so you can sell anything they want to you and have you do whatever they want you to do. But that's not the way of the spiritual warrior. You're to transform. You are to rise above all of it. And what we do is we use these situations, they're unfortunate situations. Of course we're not happy about it. Of course we're sad. Of course we share our compassion and love with those victims and who's suffering. We share that with them. We feel it in our hearts. But in the meantime, we use this situation. We turn the poison into medicine. And by turning poison to the medicine, what I mean is every time a situation like this happens in your surrounding, in your country, and you hear about it in the world, is you use that situation to remind yourself that your job is to stay in your heart. Your job is to stay in the love of self, love of God, and not go into hate and separation. You use this unfortunate situation and you turn it around as a reminder for you to do your spiritual practice. Therefore, you stay in this place and then you're animating this. You are vibrating this field that you have entered into to the person next to you, to your family, to your co-workers, in school, wherever you go. And that's how if we are to change anything for the better, that's how we're going to affect the world. By changing ourselves, by finding and doing our own duty, by fulfilling the responsibility that we have, which is to come to inner peace, to come to self-love and acceptance, and find peace within ourselves. This is the responsibility that we've been given as spiritual warriors. That's the only job you have to do. This is the only thing that you're here to accomplish. You would not be listening to me if you weren't supposed to be hearing this. You wouldn't be guided to this place. These are the words of Christ. These are the words of Buddha. These are the words of the Master. These are the words that Lord God wants to be channeled to you so you can hear it. Is for you to recognize your own beauty, to look in the mirror and love yourself and stop picking on yourself and telling yourself that you're not worthy and you're not good enough. Is for you to love yourself and see your own beauty, how beautiful you are. I look at you here through the screen, and I already have love for you. And most of you I don't even know, but I feel this deep love for you. And if I can love you and have never met you, how can you not love yourself and accept yourself for the beauty you are? We have the power to transform. And this power is here. And when you fall into this anxiety and hate and separation, you give away your power. And you go back into the box. You go back into slavery. But when you come back to this place, and you don't even have to believe what I tell you, I want you to examine it for yourself. Try it for yourself. See the difference between when you're in this place and you love and accept yourself, you're in your heart place. Then how love is emanating through you to other people. And all of a sudden, everything comes into harmony within yourself. I'm not talking about harmony of other world, okay? We're not trying to manipulate the outside world. Well, I'm going to be loving and love myself and accept myself because I want that, or because I want that person to do that for me, or I want a new BMW, or whatever. I want that man to love me. No, I'm talking about the truth without any agendas or any ideas. You're simply coming to this place. And then you come into alignment with your own center. You have come to your own divinity. And through that, you're helping the universal alignment to take place. Because you are universe, the universe. You're not separated from it. And that's our responsibility in these times. And yes, when there is enough of us in the heart place, and we're connected, our hearts are connected to each other, what it does, it creates a grid, a very powerful vibratory generator that it starts to affect the rest of the planet and transforms the other people, others, those who their hearts haven't opened up to the love of God yet. Well, we are the responsible ones, and we are responsibilities to work on ourselves first. First thing first. Because our hearts have opened up to God, and God has showed itself to us. Those other people out there, that they have those kind of behaviors, or they'll have the love for power, the love for conquering, accumulating more wealth and money, or manipulating other human beings. They have a spirit, they have a soul from God as well. But God hasn't showed itself to them. They haven't really realized that they come from land of love. They're in separation, they're in dark, so they do bad things to other people. They kill, they manipulate, they plot, They do all these things that is happening on the planet. But they haven't seen the light yet. So we have to show them the light. But first we have to become the light. And once we become the light, they will see it. Because this light is beyond any other light. Because no force, no army can ever resist the love of God. The love of God, the truth, is way beyond the world of duality. Everything dissolves into it. When you come to your power, when you come to your source, when you recognize who you are, when you recognize where you come from and what is your duty, what is your mission, and you're carrying the torch, the light of love, and it's emanating out of your heart so powerfully that everything else dissolves into it. No missiles, jets, atomic bombs, poison, nothing can stand in front of it because of its purity goes beyond imagination and takes over any kind of evil and makes everything to submit into the oneness, to the divine light. And that is your power. You carry that here. We all have that. And we're not going to give that up. And the way we give it up is when we go into anxiety, fear, hate, separation, we give that up. You become a beggar. But you're not a beggar. You're the queen. You're the king. So we're not going to give away our identity and become a beggar and beg for someone else to give it to us. We recognize who we are. And the key to that, again, was given to us too, is meditation. Is to get out of here, which is going crazy, and to come here, where you feel the presence and your light shines. You feel the love. You come back to the bliss. You know that. You've done it. We've done it together. You can feel it right now as I'm speaking. You know I'm telling the truth. You may not understand everything I say, but you know I'm speaking the truth. Your heart recognizes my words. You know this is the truth. That's why we come together, to reflect that back at each other, to find each other through the eons of time, the spiritual family coming together in the name of light, to come back to one heart, to recognize our own divinity and our power, which is love. And answering that question that we had about whether Shishi read to us that one of our participants has written to us that I'm just briefing it. I believe talking about hearing the sounds and hearing voices speaking to you, and whether it's delusional or not, is there is a fine line in between that. And you may have to go through a period of time that you feel like whether you're crazy or not. I'm just putting it in very simple language. But only you know whether you're tripping, whether it's an ego trip. And this is something that, because a lot of people on spiritual path starts ego tripping too. And or this is really your higher self is speaking to you. You're the only one who knows the difference. And you may have to go through a period of duality of not knowing, or you think you're crazy or you're not crazy, but you're the only one who's going to know the difference. There's a quality into the voice, inner voice speaking to you. There's a quality to it that it takes time to tune into that and recognize it. That is not the ego speaking, and it is the truth. But hang in there, my dear friend. I don't know who you are. I didn't read your name, but just do the work. The work is to quiet your mind, to go beyond the thinking mind into the silence, to come to your heart. You just do the work. Do it regularly. And this is your salvation. This is the only place you're going to find quietness and safety. Because this world, it may even get worse. It may even get more crazy. Take your attention away from what is going on in the world. Because that's one busy, crazy mind. Take your attention out of that. Just bring your attention to here. And keep your attention on your own silence, on your own love. And then slowly, slowly you can see that your life changes. The quality of your life changes. Quietness comes. The quality of people you meet change. Spiritual friends show up on your way. Things come into harmony and they align with each other.
Zarathustra, Diana has a question. Do you want me to unmute her and let her?
Yeah, sure.
Unmuted, yeah.
Unmute her.
She's unmuted, yeah.
Hi, Diana. I don't think she's... Hi, Diana.
Unmute.
No?
Okay, there's, oh no. Diana, do you have a question? It's not coming through. If you have a question, feel free to type it in the chat.
And I remember 2 weeks ago we were going to talk about who am I, so I haven't forgotten that, by the way. I haven't forgotten that conversation, but we'll get into that. So our time is coming to an end. Most probably we're doing the academy. It's going to be next Monday evening because I travel on Tuesday. I'm going to Hamad. And I have a group healing event, and then I have the level 1 healing training course. And I think we still have room for anybody who wants to join us at the healing training course. So that's where I'm going to be. So I won't be able to do the academy on Tuesday night. On Wednesday night, we're having a group healing event. So Monday is our best bet. So I'm going to try to do it this coming Monday, which is going to be April 17th. Okay. Sending you lots of love. And I look forward to seeing you again.